So for my installation or investiture, we were working with different coronation, whatever it is today. I'm happy to bring this topic, which allows you to get to know a little more about who is this Reverend Gary guy. Now, I want to start with Maya Angelou. I love Maya Angelou. And she brings this very personal message to us. I belong to myself. I am very proud of that. I am concerned how I look at Maya. I like Maya very much. Now, this is pretty integral to today's talk because we need to come to this place where we love ourselves so that when we show up in the world, we can say, hey, I'm here. And we look in the mirror and we say, I like the way I'm looking today. This is a journey. It's a journey of unfoldment, and we don't do it alone. Because if we turn to Scripture from Isaiah 41:30 from the Message translation, there's no need to fear, for I am your God. I will give you strength. I will give you help. This is so valuable because in unity, we know we're one with that power and that presence. And that power and presence is always giving us exactly what we need to get where we need to be now. And when we argue with the present moment, that's when we're going to experience some pain. But it's all part of the journey of learning to love ourselves more fully and to embrace and accept the providence, the love that God is always providing in our journey. Now, from Gary's virtual fortune cookie, take good care of self, and self take good care of you. It's our job. Now, when we're young, our parents had the role of taking care of ourselves. But as we grow more and more, it's our charge to take care of ourselves. And one good way of taking good care of yourselves is to find a place where you can grow. I've come to this church to let my wings soar, to let my heart more open. There's a minister, a kahu, in Hawaii. And about 9 years ago, we were sitting in the Kaiser Health Clinic, just waiting. And she turned to me and said, Gary, I see great things for you. You have so much to give. Do it. And about 6 months after she said that to me, I got the call to be a Unity minister. And here I be. It's very, very good. Now, who's got a toolbox? Who's got a tool drawer? Like in the kitchen, the utility room, where you need a tool and you don't have time to go find the toolbox, but right there, there's this screwdriver. There's the ball of string. There's the tape. There's the tape measure. There's a hammer. All the perfect tools to do exactly what we need right when we need to do it, right? Now, sometimes you got a Phillips screw you need to handle, and you've only got a flathead screwdriver, and we get a little creative. But it's a good tool is always a good tool. It's dependable. And so I offer today a spiritual toolbox. And so I want to introduce you to my toolbox. Now, there's all kinds of tools in a toolbox. Let's see what we have today. One thing I really love is beauty. I love beauty. And there's a lot of it here. When I was here in September, in the place that never rains, it started to rain and rain. And in my rainy walks around Fisher Park, which is a beautiful park, all of a sudden, these rain flowers came up, like 5 inches, and popped up all over the place. So beautiful. It's like, hello, God. This is fabulous. They lasted for about 5 days. But then I've also experienced the rivers. Oh, my gosh. The trees and the winding of the river. When I first got here, my first day going downtown, I drove and I crossed the river, and then I crossed the river, and then I crossed the river, and I crossed the river, and I was like, how many rivers are there here? And I was just like, always. But I love the water, and it always connects me to a higher space. I breathe deeper. It gives me that that awesome feeling. Also, I experienced, when I came back in October, a snake just trying to get warm. It was 50 degrees outside. It was right out here on the cement. And it was like, oh, hello. This is a juvenile Texas rat snake just trying to get warm. So beautiful. The markings and its presence just holding space so that we could come here. We're surrounded by deer and birds and amazing beauty, all of them inviting us to know we're right here now. So there's something in Unity called the Daily Word. And I've got it in this handy little holder. It's a bi-monthly issue. This is the November-December issue. And today's word is we are one. And the affirmation is in oneness, we live in love. Together. In oneness, we live in love. I like to start my day by reading the daily word. I read Louise Hay. I read lots of different things that kind of affirm that truth for me. They give me a sense of a higher purpose. Now, there's times where we tune in to CNN, constantly negative news, and get some of that other stuff. But let's fill our heart, our experience, our life energy with some truth. We are one. And we live in oneness. And we live in love. Now, I also have to remember to go outside. You know, sometimes it gets so wrapped up with what's going on in the computer that you forget. I forget sometimes. I need to push away and get outdoors. Do something new. In Hawaii, my grandnephew Joey came and said, I want to learn how to surf. And I said, let's go do it. So here's a picture of me, the first and the last time I went surfing. Pretty good, Hang Ten. Now, sometimes we try something new, and it's like a wrong turn. We didn't quite make the measure. But I wanted to make this souffle for you, but it's flat. It's all right. We just try again or try something else. Now, I'm not a runner. I didn't come to this planet to run. Now, God might inspire me someday, but it hasn't happened yet. But if you're a runner And you say, I'm going to run that 5K. I'm going to run that marathon. I'm going to do that Ironman. We train, and when we finish, it's a celebration. It's a success. It's a knowing that I have done something I knew I could do, but I didn't know until I did it. Stepping out and doing what our heart is leading us to do is part of what makes us know we're alive, because we're integrated with something bigger than ourselves. And believe me, outdoors is a lot bigger than any of my small in-time spaces. So go outside. Ooh, an old friend. Cleanliness means godliness. Well, I have to tell a little secret on me. But let's look at the wisdom of Martha Smock. Now, something you're going to learn about me, I love the women of unity. And Martha Smock led Silent Unity for many years, and a wise woman. So I turn to her to kind of glean some wisdom. Rather than straining our striving for results in the outer, set the inner self right. Release fears and tensions. Let go. Let God's Spirit carry you forward into life, freedom, and peace. Now, I have to tell you a little story. When I was an undergraduate at University of California, Santa Cruz, I would tell my friends, I'm above anger. I don't feel anger anymore. But boy, everything had its place. There was no dirt anywhere. The records, those vinyl things, were in alphabetical order. The books were in alphabetical order. Everything was in its place. And my friends loved to come into my room. And when I wasn't looking, they'd move something on the coffee table to see how long will it take Gary to put it back. Oh, not long at all. And then uproarious laughter. They also looked at my closet and said, Gary, there's a world of color. All you wear is black and white. I go, there's brown in there too. I didn't wear any color, because not feeling anger meant I didn't feel much of anything. And they loved me through it, because setting the inside right means feeling all of our feelings. And any feeling felt to completion returns us to our essence. And then we can live in the world of color. There's all colors of gray. There's all colors of green or red or orange or purple. Pick a color. Life is colorful. There's no place where God is not. And God is a spectrum of color, giving our life food. So I have to go back to my time in Maui, because I have a special friend to introduce you to. And to see that friend, you have to put on the mask and swim out. And for 20 years, I swam with this gentle Hawaiian green sea turtle. I gave her the name Abby Seymour, and she would come right up to me, look me right in the eye, big brown eye, and she would breathe around me, swim underneath. We'd swim for 10 minutes together. What an awesome experience to have contact with something other than just other people. Now, it might not be a Hawaiian green sea turtle. Maybe your love is a horse, or a dog, or a cat, or a gerbil. Whatever it is, having some experience with something other than the human race fills us with incredible wonder. And this great friend will be there the next time I go to Maui, and we'll get to swim together because we always recognize each other. Thank you, Abby. She got to visit Texas. Oh. And then there's family. I've been living with Owen for 30 years. He's challenged me. He's uplifted me. He's nourished me. He's the most generous man I know. Now, I know that there's nothing that I've learned in my relationship with Owen I couldn't have learned on myself, because life has a way of giving us exactly what we need to know, right? But boy, being in the relationship with Owen has put us in the fast lane, because sometimes you get to know things really fast to keep going and to be strong. And it's always better to forgive than just being right. There's also the extended family. These are my 4 grandnieces and nephews. I've been close to them since they were born. And they've challenged me, enriched my life beyond measure. There is nothing I wouldn't do for any of these people. Close to my heart. There's so much we can do when we come together. This family, this home. Right now, we can't even know what we will create together, what will unfold as we grow and change and create. But when we come together, like Habitat for Humanity, we can build a home. We can change a life. We can do what we do. And this church is already doing this in grand ways. This past Friday was Vet Trip. A couple weeks ago, Family Promise. We're having an impact on others. And when we do that, it impacts us. We're living right now and breathing the energy that happened here on Friday during Vet Trip, and we don't even know how that's affecting us. But it's always for the good, because it's an offer of love. I love wise words from other people. I read to enrich my life. And Wayne Dyer has this great perspective. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. It's so true. And it's also true that as we read these inspiring writers, whoever inspires you, it connects us to a deeper knowing of what we know to be. Myrtle and Charles Fillmore said each of us are true students, and each of us must come to that own knowing of truth. So it doesn't matter what I say or what's said in a class or what's written on the wall. What's your truth? And let that be your guide. It didn't hurt that Wayne Dyer was a member of Unity Church of Maui, and a great example of one who continued to grow in consciousness, learn, and change, and then share that with the world. I love music. I love all kinds of music. And Shakespeare said from Twelfth Night, "If music be the food of love, play on." And that's what I do. Now I have to put on the top of the list Frank Sinatra. Now, when I lived in New York City directing theater, I worked at a law firm in the records department, and I supervised 14 clerks, which are usually kids on internship. Now, I always knew when Gary was a little twisted, had his knickers in a knot, a little hard to live with, because they hated Frank Sinatra, but they loved the effect
The summer wind
on Gary.
came blowing in from across the sea.
Now, it's not always Frank, because sometimes I turn to my sisters from Oakland, California, the Pointer Sisters. And there's something about having some music to dance to clean to work in the yard to walk around the block to. And I love the Pointer Sisters. But it's not all about jumping up and down or dancing. Because sometimes we lyrically sit back and allow Mozart to carry us on the wings of melody, or Bach, or Debussy. It doesn't matter. Whatever music lights your lamp, allow it to be a touchstone for what's possible. And coming to this wonderful place, I discovered Das Reck. I can find some water here. I love the water. And whether I'm in the leisure pool, climbing up mountain in that resistance water, or doing laps in the pool, it helps bring air into my body. And whether it's swimming or doing another rep, lifting weights, or running or walking or bicycling, having that exercise, having that movement does enrich our body, our sense of being. It can also make us hungry, so we can really enjoy our food. And then there's the question: what's in your spiritual toolbox? What works for you to come home to now? What allows you to love yourself, to know that God, by whatever name, is one in every cell of your being now? Need do nothing but be. Dr. Sue Sicking was a very powerful unity minister. And these words point to a very important part of the unity journey. To meditate is as important to our growth as putting seed into the earth or food into the body. Unity's fourth principle of what we know to be true is that we need to pray and meditate every day. We need to drop into that sense of being and listen to what's going on inside. Meditation is an important aspect of our life, as important of eating or breathing or taking care of our body. Meditation is a way of coming home. So let's take some time now and let's light a candle and open our hearts to this moment of meditation.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti.
As we breathe deeply, I invite you to breathe in peace. To breathe out peace. Shanti is a Sanskrit word for peace. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. From this wellspring of peace within us, we open to a vast wellspring of light, of love, of wholeness. Allow this peace to be our praise. A moment of awe. Awesome. The Shanti Om is a tool for coming home. As we come home now to revel in peace. So as we breathe in and breathe out, we take this moment to be into peace as we enter the silence. The peace is good. Allow yourself to carry this peace with you always. so that any disturbance, we can just take a deep breath and connect to the peace that's always there. A touchstone. And so as you wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers and roll your neck, realize that your shoulders have dropped a little bit. When you're ready, I'd like you to open your eyes to come back to this now moment. And in unity, we love affirmations, affirming a truth. And so I offer this one today. I love taking good care of myself. Together, I love taking good care of myself. That feels good, doesn't it? Let's say it again. I love taking good care of myself. And so it is. And so we let it be.